passengers in the Accessoride were trapped.
It's like 7, 8 people in there, and most of them, I feel like they were hurt because they were already like disabled, and then the door would not open, and the officer was trying to push it, and it took a long time to open the door.
One passenger, a 78-year-old man, pronounced dead at the scene. 11 others injured, including 5 firefighters who were taken to the hospital in stable condition. A woman was fatally struck yesterday morning by a city transportation department dump truck. 31-year-old Nilufar Komalova was crossing the street on Metropolitan Avenue and Lefferts Boulevard in Queens when that happened. She died at the scene. The driver stayed on scene and was not immediately charged. It is now attempted murder charges against the man accused of pushing 2 people onto the subway tracks at the F&Q platform at 63rd Street. 34-year-old Byron Hernandez was arrested yesterday. That's after cops released cell phone footage that one of the victims was actually able to get from the tracks. The other victim, 83-year-old Richard Williams, is hospitalized with grave injuries, including bleeding on the brain. His daughter telling the Daily News her father is now on life support. She does not think he will survive. A turf argument between food vendors in Central Park turned ugly.
It happened in the early afternoon as the park was packed with people enjoying the beautiful weather. A 24-year-old food vendor was slashed in her neck, hand, and leg during what sources say was an ongoing dispute over their territory near 63rd Street and the Center Drive, where Cizon Griffin was playing music for the crowds and saw the police.
Yes, I was very curious. I was like, what, were they here for us? but no, I was wondering what was going on.
Police say the suspect fled toward the Heckscher ball fields accompanied by her husband and son. Marla Diamond, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Central Park.
Nearly 2 years after her husband was killed, the widow of NYPD officer Jonathan Diller came face to face with the man on trial for his murder. This was yesterday on day 1 of the trial, where dozens of uniformed cops also turned out in Queens Supreme Court. 35-year-old Guy Rivera facing murder, attempted murder, and weapons possession charges for allegedly shooting Diller while he and his partner were on the beat in Far Rockaway. This was during a traffic stop. Prosecutors say if not for Rivera's gun jamming, Diller's partner would likely have been hit as well. Let's get Bloomberg Money Watch from Courtney Donahoe.
Susan, the conflict in the Middle East rages on with no signs of de-escalation. The International Energy Agency is said to be proposing a release of emergency oil reserves of as much as 400 million barrels, which is double the amount it put into the market after Russia invaded Ukraine. Stocks have been shifting from losses to gains. S&P futures are up 6 points. Dow futures rising 35. In other news, 2 uniform makers are teaming up. Cintas is buying rival UniFirst in a $5.5 billion deal. Cintas has been trying for years to buy UniFirst. I'm Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Today's tax tip is...
We're documenting history for future generation folks. These videos, while they are not exciting, they might not be entertaining, but I feel it's necessary to record our local history so that someone 20 years from now can go back to a random day in 2026 and hear what's happening in the local news. And yes, I've heard people say, well, you have the internet now, you can check everything out on the internet, and it is true. However, you lose that local vibe, that local I'm just concentrating on the school bus. If I see a red light, I don't want to, if he puts out the stop sign, I don't want to go past it. Even so, we still got to be careful going across, because there still might be a kid that dashes out in front of that school bus, so got to be careful. So yeah, you lose that, what do they call that? I'm losing all my words. Getting older. You lose that first impact of when something is first broadcast, if that makes sense. Of course, you get some vintage commercials, or they will be vintage 30 or 40 years from now, I hope. And I've always gone on YouTube to see if anyone else has done this, in the previous years, so I can go back and listen to some vintage news snippets, but no one's done it. So I started doing this about 3 years ago.
That Miralax helped me go. I was so back.
And every now and then I will go back, because on my main channel, I started doing this like in 2022. So I'll go back to a random day in 2022 and just kind of hear what was going on my morning commute.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com. I know about MJHS Health System because I remember...
This is a series of commercials that are being broadcast right before the 7:30 deadline. 7:30 headline, I'm sorry. So it's 7:29 right now, so we're going to get a headline here in a moment, and we're right in front of the former site of the Barnard Hospital here in Paterson, New Jersey, on Broadway. In case you're wondering where I am based out of, I am in the Northeast. As you hear the horns of people honking.
No matter who you are or where you come from,
MJHS is there for you.
August 7th.
You remembered.
How could I forget?
For the support and guidance you need, call MJHS Health System today at 855-202-3502 or visit us at mjhs.org. MJHS, leading the way to great care.
Now this message: injured, the law office of Isaac Abraham can represent.
Speaking of honking, I truly believe that horns, car horns, should be obsolete. They're not needed. And if they are going to have horns, I truly believe that drivers should not have the ability to press the horn and keep it pressed.
40. The numbers are the first insight into the broader toll for U.S. service members targeted by rocket and drone strikes. At a news conference, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane noted that he joined Secretary Hegseth, Vice President Vance, and other officials at Dover Air Base Monday night for the dignified transfer of the 7th soldier to die in combat during the conflict.
We honored the return of Staff Sergeant Benjamin Pennington of the U.S. Army's 1st Space Brigade from Fort Carson, Colorado.
Sergeant Pennington from Glendale, Kentucky, succumbed to his wounds Sunday after an attack on an air base in Saudi Arabia on March 1st. The same day, 6 reservists were killed in Kuwait by an Iranian drone strike. I'm Jennifer King.
Iran's military command is saying this morning that banks and financial institutions are now a target in the Middle East, and that threat would put Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain at particular risk because they're each home to so many global financial institutions. Wins News Time 7:31. We got to get you where you need to go on a Wednesday morning. How we looking, Karen Stewart?
Well, we're in big trouble in the Bronx. The Bronx is ugly on the southbound Bruckner. We've had this accident at the RFK Triborough since 5:35. The left lane is blocked. We're jammed all the way back to the Bruckner interchange. We also are bumper to bumper on the westbound cross Bronx out of the interchange and into the Bronx River Parkway, and that is seriously backing up and making it really heavy on the southbound Bronx River Parkway attempt to get to 95. If you're traveling in Queens, the westbound LIE accident just got cleared at Bell Boulevard. We still have delays that go back to New Hyde Park Road. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. 30 at the George, except from the Palisades. It's 15 from there. 45 at the Lincoln, and 55 from the Pulaski Skyway to the inbound side of the Holland. 30 minutes from the Newark Bay Extension. Garden State Parkway still has this Cranford accident. Northbound near exit 137, the left lane is blocked. And on Long Island, we've got the eastbound Southern State near exit 28A for the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway with an accident now moved over to the right shoulder. Mass transit expect cancellations and delays on the Babylon, Long Beach, Port Jefferson, and Ronkonkoma branches because of a down tree on the tracks east of Kew Garden. So far this morning, 10 trains have been canceled. Traffic and Transit, sponsored by Monmouth University. Make your mark at Monmouth University. Their stunning coastal campus offers easy access to big city opportunity and a personalized education fit uniquely to you. Bigger thinking, more inspired, you amplified. Learn more at monmouth.edu/amplify. Karen Stewart, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Let's get a check of that AccuWeather forecast. Meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Joe, in the interest of full disclosure, yesterday I put the beach chair out on the driveway, Speedo on. There I was, taking in all the rays. It was fantastic yesterday. Yeah, fantastic.
Oh man, after my own heart. It was a joy to be outside. I got in a bunch of miles today. Almost reached the high temperature of 80 degrees yesterday.
Goodness.
However, It's not going to be that warm today, and definitely not going forward. We got a cold front that'll move through here early tomorrow. Ahead of it, still got them balmy today with more clouds and sun. Most of the day dry. I say most because we get to the evening rush. That's when a shower and thunderstorm will wander in from the west. Ahead of it, 66 in Midtown, 70s in New Jersey, 50s on Long Island. Tonight, cloudy, couple of showers, even a thunderstorm early. Our low 58, but it quickly drops into the 40s tomorrow morning. Behind that front, it'll be windy, much colder, off and on light rain. Friday, changeable sky, not much sun, breezy in the afternoon, high 47. Saturday, some sunshine, but windy, the high near 50. In Central Park, partly cloudy at 55. The relative humidity 61%. The wind southeast at 5. Reading the current temperature 55, headed up to 66 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg on New York's weather station 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Thank you, Joe. Massive fire this morning at a Brooklyn factory. Glenn Schuck live for us with the very latest. Glenn, are they any closer to getting this thing under control?
It's under control, but they didn't want to call it that officially, Scott, because it's such a huge factory, this two-story building that's right on the waterfront here in Sunset Park, 53rd Street, 1st Avenue, still smoldering, and two buildings to the side of it as well were also basically wiped out, is the words the fire department used. So they're going to be here for many hours. It's going to keep apparatus here and keep pouring water on, and not just from the tower ladders, but they did a pretty dramatic firefight overnight here with these two fireboats pouring so much water from the Bay Ridge Channel here in the water section off of Sunset Park here, off the piers here. 15,000 gallons a minute is what they're telling me they were using to try to get this fire out. So a major effort. 250 firefighters and EMS were here. I would say about half of them have now left, but again, this will be a pretty extended operation. In terms of injuries, 2 minor injuries to firefighters here. This is, again, mostly an industrial area here, if you're familiar with this part of Brooklyn here in Sunset Park. So it completely wiped out this factory. I believe it was a wood and tile storage unit inside there. So that's really what had this raging to 5 alarms at 1 in the morning. But again, they have it surrounded, pretty much under control at this point, and we will keep you updated from here. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Winds, 92.3 FM, live here in Brooklyn.
All right, thank you, Glenn. The partial government shutdown doing a number at the airports. CBS News reporting the number of TSA workers not showing up has surged during the shutdown. Hundreds of agents and officers quitting, and the number of employees calling out sick. Well, that's through the roof, that number, and you know what that means. The lines to get through security are a long and winding road. Give yourself plenty of time if you are traveling. Can you guess which actress this is? You could say her initials are AI, but that's not her name. We'll tell you who it is. See if you can guess. 1010 Winds Entertainment's coming up next.
The other thing is, too, you can consider this sort of a small time capsule for today. And you'll see things differently.
Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on.
All right, we have commercials now. Thank you, guys. If you're watching this, if you watched it, let me know that you watched it. Let me know what you think. You like it, you don't like it. If you don't like it, that's fine, but just be respectful in your feedback. That's all I ask. Be kind and courteous. All right, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next time capsule.